Hey everybody, Mitchell here again from Cows, and in this video we'll be taking the DA42 up for a spin, showing you guys how to power this thing up and how to fly around. Funny thing, we used to make tutorials on this thing, but it was super outdated, and now we're revisiting this because I've recently got my multi-engine license in the DA42, in fact in this exact airplane, and I was working towards my multi-engine instructor training. However, they increased the rates, and everybody was an instructor already, so I just flew off the rest of the times in the DA42. But nonetheless, I want to show you guys what I learned in the DA42. Let's jump in. First and foremost, Electric Master is coming on. I'll be referring to my digital checklist here for the startup of the DA42. Electric Master on, you'll hear hydraulic accumulator pump. That goes. Make sure that goes for less than 20 seconds, otherwise something might go wrong. This one's going, yep, that's pretty good. Strobe lights coming on, gonna go ahead and pull up the engine page as well. We're looking for the fuel temperatures to be in the green. And then we're gonna test our gear enunciators. Make sure the light enunciates and engine fire on the PFD. Here it is. And then we're gonna test our variable elevator backstop. So what we're gonna do is gonna hold the stick up back. Before I do that, let me extend the flaps all the way down. I'm going to pull the stick all the way back, right, and then we're going to increase the throttle all the way in. You can see the stick starting to move forward there. Cool. Now we're going to move one power and one throttle back. Make sure it doesn't disengage. Very good. And then power back. And now you should be able to pull back a little more. Cool. That's the variable elevator backstop. Flaps coming back to the up position. Now we're ready for engine start. For the left engine, we're going to clear the propeller area, right? Flick on the left engine master. Wait for that left glow plug enunciation to go away. That's the glow plug's warming up the engine for easier start. We're going to crank the left engine until it reaches about 500 RPM. Release the key. And the engine should hang around about 900 RPM. Here we go. Making that.
TOS system test. Okay.
Here's 500. And there it hangs around about 900 RPM, give or take. Same thing with the right engine master coming on. Right engine glow plug. Enunciation is on. Alright, once that disappears, I'm going to start the right engine. So crank the right. 500, release. It should hang around 900 RPM. After you get the engine started, it's important to start up the warm-up timer. So I'm going to start that for 2 minutes. 2 minutes for the engine to warm up. And increase a little bit power to about 1,000. Alright, during this waiting period, I like to run my fuel to cross feed, make sure it both runs in the cross feed position, and also make sure that we get our weather so our avionics can come on at this point. Then we can do our ECU test. For the ECU test, basically it cycles through each of the ECU units per engine and then make sure those units are working correctly. So we're going to hold in between these two ECU test switches, and you're going to see enunciations on the PFD for the ECUs for ECU fails. But let me hold that again. Actually, let me idle the engine. It's gotta go below our setting. Here we go. Now we can try it. There we go. So once those enunciations come on, since it's testing the B right now, or testing the A right now, once it cycles through and disappears, that's when we can release the ECU test cycle function. Here's the A, it'll cycle through the RPMs. Good, and it disappears, I can release the ECU test switch, and as long as there's nothing abnormal about the engine, we're good to go. Okay, looking for the ECU swaps, I'm going to swap it to the ECU B, make sure it doesn't affect our performance. The manual swap on the right engine as well, so it doesn't affect our engine performance. Back to auto, good to go. And right after you finish the ECU test, go and flip on your taxi lights, and our warm-up timer should be nearing 2 minutes. After that, we are ready for taxi.